So has anyone ever had like 10 million different versions of a document floating around? Like there's a Word document and then it gets updated and you need to resend it to everyone, and then it gets updated again and you need to send the updated version, and at some point there are two versions and both of them are updated and you need to kind of smash them together and figure out how to merge them into one. Something that's really nice about being able to share something like this, you don't need to worry about multiple versions of this floating around in the ether. So, for example, if you share a link to one of these documents, if I share a link to one of these documents, it'll always go to the updated version of the document.
Mhm.
You don't need to worry about it going out of date because you can just update it as you go. So this is something I've actually only done a couple times, but it does keep an edit history. So I just reopened this,
Mhm.
and I'm guessing if I go to File, you can see revision history. So I'm going to go ahead and click where it says See Revision History, and you can see it gives you a list. This one doesn't have very many things listed in its revision history because it was only created at 12:07 today. But if it's something that's been around for a long time, or if something bad happens and you want it to unhappen,
Oh,
you can click on a previous version and restore it to that version.
Amadeo, I have a question.
Yeah, sure. What's up?
Let's say I no longer want this document up in Google Drive, but I want to retain a copy of it on my personal computer. How would I go about doing that?
I will actually. I was considering saving it to the end for and then saying it applies to everything we've looked at. What you can do uh, is if you go to File, and this is true within any of these. So looking at docs, looking at sheets. Later on, we're going to look at slides. For all three of these, if you go to File and then choose Download As,
right.
you've got a whole host of different options here, including Microsoft Word, Open Document, plain text, PDF. I can't read. Oh, EPUB. You've got pretty much any file type you could possibly want listed here as an option for you to download this as.
Mhm.
Um, so if a student is worried that their prof isn't going to accept a Google document, for example, because some professors do say, I need this in Microsoft Word format, they can certainly create it in Google Docs and then download it as a Microsoft Word document and give it to their professor that way. I will say, just as a small disclaimer, that sometimes the formatting uh, tweaks just a little bit. Generally speaking, it's not disastrous, but sometimes it doesn't stay 100% the same. So they probably want to look it over and just make sure everything looks the way they want it to before they actually do turn that Word document in. But generally speaking, it'll be fine.